Verbally Effective, your double E, Ina Esco here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 144 of the Verbally Effective podcast. Hope you guys are doing well today. And check this out. I have some awesome news. Verbally Effective has been chosen to go through the first round of South by Southwest 2021 voting. This year it's virtual, right? And we were invited last year. However, COVID, ended that dream. However, we are continuing our path for South by Southwest. So that means we need your votes, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to my social media platforms at Ina Esco, ENAESCO. Click the link for the South by Southwest voting panel picker and vote for Verbally Effective to go to the next round to get the invite for the 2021 virtual South by Southwest. So let's get it started today. I have an amazing gentleman with me. I've seen him all over Memphis during my time here, and he is a guru at insurance, right? He is an expert at this point. He is the founder of Marcus T. Turner and Associates, and now Key Enterprises. Welcome, Marcus. How are you?
Thank you. Super well. How are you this morning?
I am wonderful. Thank you for joining me today on the Verbally Effective podcast. We are so interested in your journey, Marcus.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And so we're going to get it started. Usually I say, what part of Memphis are you from? But I know that you are not originally from Memphis. So tell everybody where you are originally from, Marcus.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you all for making Memphis feel like home.
Yes.
But I am a country Southern gentleman from Indianola, Mississippi, the same hometown of B.B. King. Actually, I still do reside in Mississippi.
You do? Oh, yeah. You're an OB, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a country boy, Mississippi boy. So tell me about Indianola. I don't know much about Indianola, Mississippi.
Very small town where when I was growing up, I think we had 1 or 2 traffic lights, 3 stop signs. Yes, that's small.
Okay.
Maybe 2 traffic lights. We had a Walmart. Very small to a point where even if you purchase a new car on Friday, the whole community knew. You got a traffic ticket. It was in the newspaper. And still in Mississippi, in Indianola, there's still a railroad where it separates the whites and the blacks as far as the side. Yes, it's still a railroad that separates. So we usually would say the white folks side or the black folks side. But of course, with it being 2020, those things have changed as far as with the community being more integrated and much more diverse.
Wow, interesting. So what was Marcus interested in and involved in at a young boy? What were you into, Marcus? What did you, like to do? And, when you were a little boy, what did you want to be?
Just a truck driver, actually.
Okay.
Truck driver, because my dad, he's all the men in my family. My dad, my grandfathers, my uncles, all of them were very hard workers. And my dad was a truck driver. He was a contractor, and he also was a DJ.
A DJ.
DJ, and I started actually DJing at an early age of 11.
Wow. Wait a minute.
I had to unload his equipment to DJing, actually knowing what to play and how to work my Technique 1200s. And I think I enjoyed it just as much as anything.
Wow. What was your dad's DJ name?
DJ Super Cool.
DJ Super Cool. Okay.
Super Cool.
Wow. Yeah. So he kind of DJ'd different events around Indianola at the time.
Yeah. Like neighborhood facilities, like rodeos, because he also rode motorcycles. Wow. And yes, birthdays, anniversaries. So he pretty much DJ every Friday and Saturday, and then we did the rodeos every Sunday.
Wow, I love rodeos. I'm a Texas girl. I grew up with rodeos. I love them. I miss them. We only get what is it called that comes to Memphis once a year? They used to come, the
Black
Black Rodeo.
Black Rodeo, yes.
Yes. So interesting, Marcus. Wow. Are you the only child? Do you have any siblings?
Actually, I do. I have a sister that she just went home to be with the Lord on September 11th, and we had actually had the same birthday,
Okay.
and that's June the 22nd. By my mother, she had two kids, same birthday, 7 years apart.
Wow.
And I also have another sibling, a little brother, Rodarius, and also a little sister. Her name is India. So it's four of us total.
Okay, four of you all total. Okay, so Marcus, when you were in high school, what were those grades looking like?
About average, B's, C's. I brought A home. My mom cooked, and you would have thought it was my birthday.
Yeah.
But mostly B's, C's.
Okay.
I talked a lot, never really studied, just kind of, went with the flow.
Go with the flow. Ready for the next level, right?
Just talking. I talked a lot. I never forget. I was in the 12th grade. Actually, I sat by one of my teachers. She told me, she said, "You'll never make money doing all that talking."
You proved her wrong.
Yeah, and she's actually my favorite teacher. Even when I graduated, I would go back and see her because she really gave me tough love. That's the only teacher I went by to see. Yeah, she told me that I would never make money doing all this talking.
Wow. And you need that mouth in this insurance game, don't you?
You sure do, because you actually have to paint a picture, because people, we have so much going on a day-to-day basis. It's hard to project our retirement. It's hard to project when we're no longer here and our family have a need for income, but your income is dead as well. And we just have to paint a picture as if you're Picasso and just really paint a picture of how life would be from a financial standpoint if your income dies with you.
Right. And you know what? I tried to get into the insurance game at one point, and there are so many companies that you can start off with. I was a little discouraged, so I didn't continue it, but that is something that I am still interested in. I have some family members that are in insurance, and what's exciting is the money. The money. There is so much money, but you got to put that work in. You got to put that work in.
You have to.
Yes, and I know you know all about the work, but before we jump into the insurance piece of your life, let's talk about your college days. Where did you go to college?
Start off as a machine tech operator at MDCC, and I didn't like it because I would get my clothes dirty. It's like a machinist, because I did that in high school as well, and then went to accounting tech, where it was an accounting technical program where you got an accounting degree, and then I went to Alabama A&M, which is located in Huntsville, Alabama. And I did not finish. Of course, I told you that I ran it out because of the life insurance industry.
Oh, wow. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. You were a machinist, then you went to accounting tech, you said? Accounting tech?
Yes, community college.
Okay, and then Alabama A&M. What made you make that transition to Alabama A&M at that point in your life?
I knew a friend that went, and they were just telling me, man, Alabama is not like you think it is. Alabama is cool. And I was like, man, Alabama is worse than Indianola when it comes to segregation. And I went there, and the first thing I noticed, I saw like kids, like 14 and 15 hanging out with blacks and whites hanging out. And coming from Indianola, the only person I knew that hung around someone of a different race was my mother, which is my godmother, Jane Weatherby's, which was a divorce attorney. And they have had a 30+ year relationship. Other than that, I'd never seen blacks and whites just hanging out. And I said, man, this city is cool. So the next thing you know, that was around July and August, I was there.
Wow. How did you like it? I
loved it. Coming from the country, let me put it to you like this. The people were more polished.
Okay.
And there were more to do. Indianola, you pull up at Double Quick, you get some beer and some Hennessy, you get on the trunk, and you watch the cars pass by. And some places you really couldn't go to because they weren't really safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I'm a firm believer of is listening to the wise words of my mother. She'll say, hey, you need to go to this club, you know, this, that. Well, mama, well, you ain't gonna hear anything about me in the middle of the night happening at the club because I'm not going to be there.
Right.
And you know what, Alabama A&M, it was just filled with different people of different cultures. It wasn't just the same people that I grew up with that I've been knowing all my life. Guys that came from different backgrounds, New York, Texas, Georgia, and it was just an amazing experience.
Wow. How long were you there?
About a year.
Okay. And so
almost 2 semesters.
okay, I need to know why it was only almost 2 semesters. What happened, Marcus?
Met some guys. Well, I knew one guy from my hometown. His name is Shannon Brown, which recruited me in the insurance industry because I was selling mix CDs.
Look at you on your hustle game early.
Hey, one for 12, 2 for 20. The goal was to sell 60 between Thursday and Saturday at noon. I usually run out. He said, man, you can sell CDs, man. You can sell some insurance. Oh, I sell insurance. You know, I don't do that lame, man. Sell insurance. And he showed me his check. It was like $1,500. I thought it was like every 2 weeks. I said, man, I make this in a week. And I said, I make half that in a week. He said, no, this is a week.
Wow.
And I started with him, and about 3 weeks into the insurance industry, I never sold another CD.
Wow, interesting. So he had you sold, right?
Sold. Sold and stamped.
So you threw the deuces to Alabama A&M. And what was your first step in the insurance game, Marcus?
First step was I moved back home. I packed all of my things in my Mustang. I had a convertible Mustang. I had everything packed in there, my speakers in my room and everything. My first step was coming back home to my mother's house and starting with Liberty National. And
what did your mom say, though? What did your mom say?
Come on in, sugar. Come on in, baby. Mama, I'll never forget my mom and my sister's face when I was leaving Alabama, when I was leaving home, going to Alabama A&M. They just stood by the door crying.
Oh.
Yeah, and I did not tell her that I was coming back. So when she came home from work and saw my car, I told her I'd moved back home. And that was an amazing day. I still can remember her smiling and crying.
So she was happy that you came back home.
Yes, extremely happy.
It seems like you and your mom are very close.
Yeah, we are very close, and I have a great relationship with my father as well. But I think one of the things that really mended my mother's and our relationship was my mother and father got a divorce when I was around 11. And when he left, when it didn't work out, and he left, and it was on my mom, and my sister. It always was this deal where at an early age, I never took for granted her kindness. And when I got my first job, I never forget, my mama asked me to let her borrow $60, even though I would chop cotton growing up at age like 10 and 11. But when I started getting a job where it paid me a consistent check, my mother would borrow money from me and I would never get it back. And I thought my mother had money because we never went without.
Right.
I said we never went without. And I didn't know until I got older that it's a lot of days that she went without eating and never told me no for anything. And my mother and I, my mother, myself, and my sister, we went through a lot that my sister and I didn't know about until we got older. Because I would think about some things, we would go down to my grandmother's house and, come back the next day because of life, maybe I got disconnected. And certain things like that made me realize that my mother, how much she truly loved us. And that's why even to this day, there's no way possible my household with my wife and my kids eating steak and my mom eating spam. My mom, she goes everywhere with us. Out of country, if we go, I don't care what it is, airline ticket or if we drive, my mother's always here with us and always going.
Yes.
Mama rolling.
I understand. I know she loves to travel, right?
Yes. And she don't want to go anywhere, or even when we go to dinner, and she said, I could have cooked this. I could have cooked, y'all spend all this money because mama loves to cook.
You know what? Ain't nothing like a mama from Mississippi that cook. Because my mother-in-law, baby, anything she cook good. Do you hear me? Anything she cook is delicious.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Amazing. I'm glad that, you have a very close-knit relationship with your mom. That's very special. Getting back to the insurance side, I heard you say that you started at Liberty.
Liberty National, yes.
Liberty National. So how was it jumping into the industry of insurance? Was it an easy segue for you, or did you have any challenges?
No, the only challenge was something that was because of lack of education. And the only challenge I had was not knowing how money truly works.
Okay.
As far as making the money, I had a friend, again, his name is Shannon Brown. He taught me the hustling side as far as how many people to contact. The magic number is contact at least 25 people a day. And then my mentor, still mentor from a family business and also godly aspect, his name is Cedric Higgins. He taught me the organization side.
Okay.
How when you bring the bear back to the village, how to dissect it, how to preserve it, how to cook it, how to cut it. So he taught me how to deal with a client once I brought the client to the boardroom.
You know what? Sales can be kind of intimidating for some, because what I do know with my experience with sales, you know, some people get discouraged when they hear no, right? It's
Right.
like in sales, you're going to go through a lot of no's to get through to that yes, finally, right?
Yes.
So, you know, I heard you mention early on in the pod that your teacher said that you were a talker. So, you know, I really feel like you really got to have the gift of gab to be like an excellent person in sales. Would you agree with me or no?
Well, I do agree with you. And the reason why is because you have to truly be apologetic about your knowledge and your craft. Because some people kind of shy away from what they should say because they don't want to offend the client, but you just have to be real. You have to tell them, say, hey, you have $50,000 off the insurance and you paying $2,500 a month on his home. You have $3,000 for the other bills. Dude, this $50,000 after funeral, which is $35,000 left, is going to do more harm to your wife and kids than it will help. This won't take them 7 months.
Wow. Wow. Now, what would you say to people that think that they don't need insurance? Because there's a lot of people out there, especially the type of insurance for when someone passes. You know, I would have thought that, you know, that type of insurance would spike due to the pandemic. Have you
Right.
seen it spike, or is it at a even level? Or, you know, tell me about that piece of it.
Well, two things. When it's chaos, it creates a sense of urgency. Meaning, if a person had someone that hit close to home to pass, the next thing you know, you get about 7 phone calls within a 2-day period, and it's on a Thursday. So by that Tuesday, they feel invincible again. They don't want to talk about it because then it was a sense of urgency because they hit close to home. They say this can be me. But I always tell people this: insurance is not a racial thing. It's not a educational thing. It's a love thing. Meaning, I don't buy it because I think they may need it. I don't buy it because I have a master's degree or a doctorate degree. I buy it because I love my family. If you truly want to know how much somebody loves you, ask them for their declaration pages to their life insurance program.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. So, Marcus, how did you begin Marcus T. Turner and Associates? How did you, you know, actually take that leap while in the insurance business?
I was with a company called Liberty National for 10 years. And they purchased the phone lines, the utilities were in their name, the lease were in their name, and my district area closed due to the company downsizing. They spiked it up, made it made a microwave success, and they also compressed it. So at that point, and I'll never forget getting my things out of my office, I said, no one never be able to fire me or demote me again. Never. I will never have my lease in another company's name. I will never have my utilities in anyone else's name where they can come and tell me you're gone and lock the door. And that's when I started Marcus T. Turner and Associates. Wow. Because they trusted me to run a district where I had 2 offices then. Why not bet on myself?
Yes.
That time is when I started having my own agencies, as far as open up offices where I will only do a contract with a company. I won't work for another company.
Yes.
Write my check. They don't pay me. I have a contract with you. And at that point, I wanted my own to truly pass on to my kids. I didn't want them sitting across the desk from someone asking them for a job to help them. I want them to be sitting on the other side of the table.
Yes. Now, when you started your own business, did you face any challenges?
Yes, indeed.
Tell me about
And
it.
the thing about it is, when you have people that's working for an organization and commission only, it's different. It is what it is. You bring people in, you train them effectively, and you try your best to mentor them and to also develop them. But when the money's coming out of your pocket, you look at every person as a team member or someone in the stands. So staff is always the biggest obstacle that an entrepreneur face, because you have to think about it. If you put $100 in the cash register and it's been 8 hours and you only have $20 left, that's a bad return on your investment.
Yeah.
You've had an 80% loss for the day when you wanted a 20% gain.
Mm-hmm. Is that why there's so much turnover with associates, I guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I recruit more and I also let more go.
Oh, is that hard for you to let them go, or it is what it is?
No, actually, it's the best deal for all parties.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your main objective is to service the client, even before I think about commission or renewals or my total income, my main objective is to take care of my client. So a lot of people fail for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, they think about money, which make them compromise on doing things the ethical way. Number two, it is a tough job. You know, you have to talk to people about something they should already have anyway.
Yeah.
But the easy part was coming from Indianola, where it's more poverty, where the median household income is well under 30.
Wow.
Meaning that, yes, Miss Johnson needed it. Yes, she understood the value, but she didn't have the means of income to purchase what she needed.
Yeah.
When I made a transition to Jackson, Mississippi, it was easier. When I made a transition to Memphis, it was much easier because it was so hard in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes.
So you were baptized by the fire. You had to figure it out.
Yes, Lord. I'll never forget sales manager Cedric Higgins. He took me in a convenience store. He said, I don't want you to talk to number white folks. I said, number white folks? I said, that's crazy.
Oh.
I said, wow. I'm thinking to myself, but he always said I was ignorance on fire. I always did exactly what he asked me to do. So I went and I said, man, I got 4 people to call. He said, they white. I said, yeah, you told me talk to number white folks. He said, oh. He said, okay. Because he wanted me to get used to no's.
Mm-hmm.
And again, coming from Indianola, Mississippi, is something where you don't see.
Do you find that there's a disparity with whites buying more insurance than blacks?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And you know, the thing about it is, you would think that other races have things more together from a financial standpoint.
And they don't.
No, it's not a race. It's more sort of economic, and also, it depends on their social status.
Wow. You know what? There's nothing more sad than when someone passes away and there was no insurance and the family is scrambling to get the money together to bury this person. So I know that you've dealt with a lot of, sad situations in this business. Wow.
Yeah. And the worst part is when a person is ill and they're going through a terminal illness, and when that person has passed and you've talked to this person for years and years and years and years on the importance of life insurance, and when death occurs, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Wow. Now let me ask you this. How does this work? When someone commits suicide, but they have an insurance policy, will it still hold up or no? Or are there, I guess, something in the fine print maybe that sometimes it will, sometimes it won't?
Okay. I always tell people this. I'm not a claims professional, but I always like to say it because some people say, well, you told me this. It's a contestability clause. where if a life insurance policy goes 2 years, it cannot be contested. Meaning that if someone know they're gonna commit suicide in 2000 and they wait until 2022, they have a strong willpower. Or a person may have a pre-existing disease or a terminal illness. If they can get that policy through underwriting, they have 2 years before it could be contested. But if it's 2 years and 1 day, nothing can be done about it. The funds are paid. Again, I'm not a claims specialist.
Interesting.
Yes.
I've always wondered that, especially with, you know, a lot of these, I guess, celebrities, um, what was his name? Not Weinstein, the other guy that was involved with all the pedophilia. Then he got arrested and he was killed, or did he commit suicide? I've always wondered that, like these rich folks that commit suicide. I'm like, I wonder if the family gonna get their policy or not since they committed suicide. Wow.
Over 2 years, yes.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about COVID. How has COVID affected the insurance industry markets and specifically your business?
Of course, initially it was this thing where let's run to a corner. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. But the funny part of it is our business is about, I would say, 98% virtual, where we may do a Zoom or meet with the client via email or text, and they will rarely come into the agency. I don't see clients until our annual Christmas party.
Really? So, that was before COVID?
Before COVID.
Wow, you already had the virtual platform set up, huh?
Yes, I texted to you, emailed you. So from that standpoint, it didn't stop. But the second part is business increased because people were usually at home and not really putting in a full day's work, and people had the availability to talk more. And the other key is, it really taught me that I didn't need to spend $7,000 in office space because some people can really work from home. Like personally, if I work from home 1 day, I can get 3 days worth of work done.
Okay.
Because it's no driving time, it's no stopping at Starbucks talking to people, it's no going to the country club and have lunch and kind of decide I want to go to my locker and change and play golf. It's just straight grind time, and some people work very well from home.
Yeah, and I've been working from home since March, and I found that, you know, you really have to be disciplined in your schedule and committing to your schedule while you are working from home, because you at the house, you know, there may be some distractions. I remember my boys, they started off with virtual learning here in DeSoto County. And I struggled so much with my schedule with that because I have a 6-year-old, helping him doing my work, conference calls, emails. But they've recently gone back to school, and the adjustment is still kind of, I'm still trying to figure it out. Even though they're not here, I don't have those distractions, but I'm still trying to figure it out. But I do like working from home better.
Yes.
Do you?
I do, but the only thing about it is I've been in this industry for 2 decades, and I'm so acclimated just being out.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I couldn't sit still for 2 hours. You know, I'd be somewhere 2 hours. I go, gotta go to the other office. Oh, I go to the other office. Where you about to go? I just gotta go. I can't sit still.
Yeah. Now, has your social life changed much with COVID?
No, really, just only maybe Capitol Grill, Country Club, and patio at home. Anyway, never really just go out into social settings. Period. We usually have just people to come to the house, so that hasn't really changed.
Wow. Well, I know something has changed. You recently tied the knot. I want to say congratulations. Look, he's showing off that ring. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Complete.
Yes, complete.
Yes, complete. Yes, because have someone that loved me more than I love myself, and this is what God wants us to do. You know, as far as when you're dating or engaged and doing certain things, you still have that little bit of, you know, little uneasiness about yourself. But, you know, being married, I feel like I'm completely whole, but which she makes me whole. And then again, I'm doing all the things of God's will.
Yes, and you look very happy. You look very happy. And I saw you cutting up doing them dances at your reception on social media.
Yes, ma'am.
Like,
I
I don't know if everybody know you a dancer.
Hey, but I dance all the time.
I
Even
see.
home. Yeah, I love to sing, but I can't carry a note in a backpack.
But you could do the moves though.
I got to move. I can nilly vanilly.
Wow. Well, I also see that you and your new wife started a new company, Key Enterprises. Tell us about that.
It's a logistics and also a real estate company. And it works a few ways. We own a few trucks and we also own real estate. But there's also another side to it where we'll take someone that doesn't have the financial backing or that's not business savvy enough when it comes to getting LLCs and getting properly set up to run a business like a Fortune 500 company instead of a hamburger shack in Indianola.
Mm, the mind pause, honey. Okay.
So
So,
just to do it the right way.
okay. So you walk them through everything from beginning to end, setting the foundation the correct way, I would say.
Yes, coaching, mentoring, developing. Yes.
Okay. And how long have you all been in business with Turnkey Enterprises?
You want to know something crazy? We got our LLC 3 weeks after hello.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So you knew you wanted to do this.
Yes.
Wow. And has business been good?
Business has been great. Yes. The logistic company is better than the real estate company because, with real estate, it's one of those things where you can't just pull it out the sky. It has to be opportunity. It has to be room for profit. And it also has to be a deal where real estate is available to purchase.
Okay. Okay. Now with Turnkey Enterprises, does Marcus T. Turner and Associates still exist, or is there like a balance between all of that?
The answer is yes, but turnkey enterprises is something that's turnkey,
Gotcha.
meaning that we have it set up that even if we probably visited an hour a day, which we have a vision board in our home office, we visited an hour a day, and other than that, it's turnkey.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yes,
Well, I wish you the best of luck with this new business. And,
thank you.
something that has recently happened is we now have a new president-elect and VP-elect. Like this just
We
happened,
do.
right?
Yes,
Biden and Harris. And
yes.
when you went voting, did you have any issues? Were you in a long line? Did you do early voting? How did that process go for you this
Well,
year?
actually, absentee vote, so it was easy for
Okay.
me. Yes.
Okay, so it was easy for you. So now we know who the winner is. You know, what do you think our outlook is now for just our economy, our social setting? Because, if you look at the media, and depending on what you look at, if you look at Fox News or if you look at MSNBC or CNN, there's so much different information going on right now,
Yes.
even with people saying, well, we still don't know the results because they're still counting votes, and voter fraud and things of that nature. What do you think is going to happen next? Because 2020 has been full of surprises, Marcus.
Yes, it has been. Two parts to this. The first part is the new president elect. I truly believe within my heart that he's going to bring unity to us
Okay.
because we look at it as a team. We're still a team. We have
Yeah.
Republicans and we have Democrats, just like we have on the football team, offensive players and defensive players. And we still are a team. And I believe now we will be more so coming as one, as far as one nation, no matter where you're from, what race. You can be from Africa, you can be from New Mexico, you can be from wherever, Europe, France, wherever you want to be from, and you currently live here. I truly believe there will be unity. With unity, we can work more towards the same common goal and being a stronger country.
Yeah, it seems like now we're on the road to getting our humanity back, in my opinion. Like,
Yes.
because
Yes.
so much has been lost, and just crazy this past year. A lot of ups and downs this year for everyone, a lot of big adjustments, pivots, but I am happy to see the results
Yeah.
of, this new presidency. And I'm hoping them Democrats get it together, baby, and do
I
the
know.
work. They got to
Yeah.
do the work, though.
And on the other part, as far as the balance not being counted and all those things, a firm belief that I have within myself is I don't worry about anything, because the worst things that's happened to me, if they wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be the man I am today. My mother used to ask me, and she don't ask me anymore because she only asked me for 5 years to read the scripture. Weapons may be formed against me, but they won't prosper. And the thing about it is, when situations happen like they happen, last 4 years, God turns weapons into tools. Some people think that weapons just supposed to die and they won't work against you, but God will also make your enemy your footstool.
Sure will.
So even when things happen that we feel like are adversity to us, God is putting us in a position to leap and to fly fearlessly. So he got it all. It doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah. We covered.
We covered, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And you know what I've noticed since we've been conversing, that you have a very deep spirituality. So it seems like you have a real closeness with God. Tell me about your spirituality, Marcus.
Grew up in Kojic Church, Pastor Elijah Walk, I'll never forget. I'll go on a Friday, used to stay in church. And one thing I always remember is the Holy Ghost and people falling out. He touching people. And I used to hate when my mother would get her hair done. He'd put his hand all her hair. No, my mom just got hair. So, but I tell you what, I went through a situation where it was one of the most challenging, unfavorable situations that I've ever had in life. And usually when I have something, I run to partying or drinking and all this kind of stuff. So God got my attention. He said, I got you now. He grants my attention and he said, try me. He said, I don't care how much you party or how much you drink and hang out and whatever. He said, try me. He said, now I got your attention. And ever since then, about 40 months ago, everything's been going in the right direction. I never worry about anything. I always throw my hands up at it. And no matter what comes against me, it's always for the betterment of me. But when things happen to you, you have no one else to turn to. When mama can't pray for you enough, when you can't listen to Joel Osteen enough, God said, come try me.
Yes.
I know you believe in me, but don't get a relationship with me to get something out of me. Get a relationship with me because I'm your father. And since that's been happening to me, God has blessed me beyond my wildest measures. I've never dreamed of having this life that I have now. And no matter what things happen, no matter how many people throw stones, even if it strike me for a lesson. I'll lose 2,000 to gain 20 million. That's why one thing you said about as far as me being married, even though I wasn't married, I was having, different situations as far as dating. And I just always felt like I was being convicted. And when I got married on the day I said I do, I truly felt like my pie and my chart was whole. And especially by me having an amazing mother-in-law too. When they first met, things were as if they was long lost sisters. So that's why my beliefs are so strong, because God is real. I believe in God more than I believe in myself, my mother, my wife, my kids, or anything. Because if it wasn't for him, ain't no way I could have came out of the most challenging situation, unfavorable situation, and still be here. I went through hell smelling like bun up and came out smelling like cream.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? It's often that we go through some of our darkest times and, really find God. And it could definitely change your life. It could, have that relationship with him. Like you said, don't call on him when you want something. You have to have that daily, nightly relationship with him.
Yes. Amen.
Okay,
Yes.
Marcus. So let me ask you this. What does Marcus do to unwind? When you're not doing insurance, when you're not with Key Enterprises, what you do for fun?
Spend time with family.
Okay.
And our days are very consistent. My wife usually makes it home around 6, and when I hear the garage coming, I'll uncork the champagne and celebrate life.
Okay.
And I'm usually cooking every day, spending time with my
What you
boys.
cooking? What you over there cooking?
Oh my goodness. If you name it, I could cook it.
Oh,
Usually greens, collard greens, not collard greens. My mama gonna say, boy, you lying. Cabbage greens, yams, cornbread, chicken, steak. I love to grill.
so mama taught you how to cook?
Yes. Mama taught me how to cook and how to love.
Good, good, good. Marcus, tell us what your biggest motivation is.
Biggest motivation is, I can tell you how I got my biggest motivation. My mother asked me for $100 one time. I wasn't able to give it to her. And I was like grown, I was a big boy, like 19 years old. And I think that was the most hurt I've ever been, most disappointed I've ever been. And I said that'll never happen again. Even though I had situations where it's been unfavorable, but I haven't had many financial challenges as an adult. But the biggest motivation is being able to do things for my mother, because she went through so much with us. You know, mother and father got divorced when I was 11, and the dynamics of the household changed. Because my mother never paid any bills. Never paid any bills. So when he left and had another family, the dynamics of the household really changed. So my biggest motivation is always doing things for my mother. You know, and the best thing about it is she opens them with open arms, and she appreciates every single thing that we do for her. So just provide her with a life beyond measure is my big, even before my boys. You know, I never had a problem with a financial situation with my boys, but with my mother, just giving her the world is my biggest motivation. And she think I can call her right now and say, Mom, we're gonna get 3 officers. No, baby, I think y'all should get 30. God,
I know she's your biggest cheerleader.
Yes, and she's always pushing us to do better than we ever thought that we can do. I don't care what it is. You can tell Mama, hey, Mama, I'm gonna save, I don't know, $1 million this month. Baby, I think you saved 3. You know,
and you go for it.
Yeah, she never say, well, I don't think you should do that, baby. You know, if it's something you're going towards the goal. So she's my biggest motivation.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. Marcus Turner from Indianola, Mississippi.
Indianola, our town, stand up. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today on the Verbally Effective Podcast. We've learned so much about your journey, your relationship with your mom, your new wife, your businesses, the insurance business as a whole. I just want to thank you for joining me today. And I also want you to let everyone know how they can get in touch with you or follow you on social media. You know, just give your handles out, and if they may want to do business with you, you put something on their mind today about insurance, let everybody know your information.
Yes. Facebook will be Marcus Turner. Instagram will be at Allstate King. Yes. Telephone number 901-281-4732.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Marcus Turner, for joining me for episode.
So congratulations again.
Thank you. Look, South by Southwest, here we come, right?
Everybody go vote.
Go vote.
Information again.
And look, I need you to send a prayer up for me, because you look like you covered, and I need that prayer energy you got. So I need you to help me out with them prayers.
Hey, congratulations in advance.
Thank you so much, Marcus. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Have a blessed one.